New York City, we back. The Big Apple, NY. The Knicks are back. Staten Mellow. This dedicated to my city, New York. Official kings in the court. Reach with a ball, a hard lesson gets taught. So bring your skills to the nearest playground. No clown around. Catch a helmet in a minute on a New York playground. The Big Apple's what they call it for short. And basketball is our sport. We play for keeps and never settle for sure. So bring your game when you come to my town. We snatch and crowd. You get embarrassed on the court after you shook to the ground. You get respected when you prove to get down. So say the joke for the clowns. And NYC, we known to go a few rounds. This is a city where you're forced to go hard. You'll get booed out of Dodge and shown the door being the weakest on squads. Rucker Park and summer nights, they stay live. Brothers play for the pride and bragging rights on who's the king of NY. So grab the pill and prepare to go hard. Pick your 12-man squad. Orange and blue, better believe we go hard. This for my city, New York, New York City where it's gritty. Yeah. For my city, never pretty. New York City, sing it with me. Yeah. For my city, New York City where it's gritty. NYC, for my city, never pretty. Yeah. New York City, sing it with me. New York City, sing it with me. Steals the great Hardwell, Knicks Talk Nation, Monday, every Monday, 10 to 11. You know what I mean? Hardwell, we upon another season. Day before preseason opener at the Garden, which happens to be tomorrow on my birthday. I'm contemplating on whether I should go or not. You know what I mean?
Happy birthday, my brother. In advance,
Appreciate that. Appreciate that, King. Word, man. But, you know, before we get into it, man, you know, how was your week, man? How was your weekend, man? I know it's been a little while since we've been on air, man. I've been going through a few things, but we'll get to that. But before we get to that, man, Hardwell, how you feeling, bro?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I had a good week, you know, training as usual. Actually had a game yesterday. My boys was down by 5 at halftime. And, you know, when I talked to him, I gave him like that Coach Carter speech. Like, I remember saying what I said, right? I was like, you disappointed me. I said, y'all disappointed me. The boys came out, Steals, and we scored, I think, 35 in the second half. We wound up winning by like 17. But it was like, I feel like,
shout out to Hardwell.
Yeah. I feel like these kids wasn't on my team level. And that's when I get upset when my team played down. You know how teams play down. Yeah, I had a pretty good weekend because of that, because I like to see all my training, because I train the kids that play. So I like to see the work I'm putting in out, spinning out in the game. But how was your weekend?
Oh man, my weekend was a blast. I had a blast, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I didn't do a show Sunday, you know, because I was taking some precautionary measures. I was feeling a little under the weather. So I did what the jobs be telling us to do. If you feel a little sick, stay away, stay home, don't come in to work, don't do nothing. So I took a little break on Sunday as well, man. You know what I mean? Didn't do a show. As a matter of fact, I didn't do the show, but shout out to Zy Flynn, shout out to DJ JOJ. They held it down yesterday, did a 2-hour show without the kid, me and the bearded one. You know what I'm saying? They basically came through and held me down, man. But prior to that, man, the week has been great. You know what I'm saying? I've been dealing with a few health issues, man. Like you said before we got on air, man, we getting older. You know what I mean? We got to start taking care of our bodies and, you know what I mean, doing the right thing. And you know what I mean? I'm turning another year older tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? Which just so happens to be season opener, like I said, preseason opener. So I feel good and I want to stick around some more, man. So I'm gonna start taking more precautionary measures, man, to make sure that I'm around, you know what I mean, to enjoy more season openers, because this season looks like it's gonna be interesting. You know what I'm saying? Definitely looks like it's gonna be interesting. But to get right into it, man, like I said, man, preseason openers tomorrow at Madison Square Garden. We open up the preseason against the Indiana Pacers. You know what I mean? What you think about that matchup heading into, you know, this new season? You know, the Pacers are a young team, up and coming. What you think about this matchup?
Maybe because people don't really look at the preseason the same way. I think players look at it different. And maybe they're going to give knocks and, you know, quickly certain players who a chance to see what they got right now, maybe instead of playing, or maybe they're gonna give the main players some time. I'm not really sure. Um, I don't know how serious they take preseason games, but I think we still need to give those guys who, they're not sure about some run like Knox, let them play.
Uh-huh.
Uh, some of the guys that may not get run when we start playing our season opener.
Yeah,
Let
I
those
mean,
guys play preseason more,
well,
maybe.
the Knicks got him. It's interesting you kept bringing up Knox because the Knicks got to make a move. They got to cut 5 people from this current roster heading into
Yeah.
the season, and this is Knox's final year under his rookie deal, and he may be eligible to be cut because he hasn't been making the cut thus far. Everything that they said about him heading into him coming into the NBA looks like it's coming to fruition because, they said that his motor wasn't high. He's not highly motivated to play basketball, but he had a whole bunch of talent, and they ran off of just the fact that he had talent. And so far, it hasn't materialized. I mean, outside of the one or two summer league games that he had when the Knicks drafted him,
Mhm.
we haven't really seen the best of Kevin Knox or the Kevin Knox that the Knicks envisioned when they grabbed him out of Kentucky. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's crazy. You know what I
He
mean?
was a
But
number
yeah, he
9
might,
pick.
huh?
He was a number 9th pick.
He was a lottery pick. We can't
Yeah.
afford to be blowing lottery picks like that. Look at Frank Ntilikina. We got rid of him this year. He's playing for Dallas now. It seems like
Yeah, Knox is
the
a blown
Mavericks for
pick.
the Mavericks. You
He's
know
a
what I mean?
blown pick. You know why? Because when you look at the draft, I know the draft. Luka Doncic, Trey Young, there's players in that draft. Not saying
Yeah,
we could have drafted them, but when you go by, and there's a couple players behind that, I can name who you could have drafted. Bridges, Miles Bridges came after him.
yep. He plays for
The other
Charlotte. Yep,
Bridges from Charlotte and the
yep.
other Bridges from Phoenix.
Mikael,
They
yep. They,
both
they
came
had him on the
after.
radar. Yep.
Yeah. And a couple other players came after, but just to look at the players who came before, what they're doing, and they
Yeah,
only came a few numbers before. You know how it is in the draft. If you go 6th and I go 9th, I could be better than you. That doesn't really. It's all up to what you're gonna do.
that's a
He
fact.
didn't even crack to, nothing near to what these guys is doing, and that's really the point I was trying to make. So this is when, as you in the position to make a decision on should we cut him, then that's might what happened because look,
Yeah.
look at the situation. He's not living nowhere up to his expectation.
Nowhere near it, man. He's definitely looking like a bust, and that's on Scott Perry because that was Scott Perry's first pick in his career as a New York Knicks GM. He picked Kevin Knox, so this one falls on him. You know what I mean? Now it remains to be seen, how these future draft picks that kind of fell under his regime, even though Leon Rose and World Wide West came in and kind of made these picks as well. But it remains to be seen how good Scott Perry can be for the Knicks. Well, one of the guys that was on the Knicks radar actually plays for the Pacers, and that's Chris Durant. I think that you was talking highly about Durant. Durant from he played at Gonzaga. The Knicks kind of wanted him. No, he played for Oregon. Pardon me. He
Oh, you
played for
talking
Oregon.
about what's his name?
Chris Durant,
Oh
the,
no,
the
I'm
shooting
thinking
guard
somebody.
from Oregon. From Oregon, the shooting guard from Oregon. The Indiana Pacers drafted him. So
Yeah,
yeah, he plays
yeah, I
for the
know he's
Pacers, man.
a
And the
shooter.
Pacers have a
He's a
Yeah, he's a
shooter.
shooter. Yep, he's definitely a shooter. The Knicks they wanted him badly, but we'll get the first look at him in preseason action
Mhm.
tomorrow night at MSG. Of course, they still got Miles Turner, who you like,
Yeah,
Malcolm Brogdon, Karis LeVert, T.J. Warren. They got a nice little crew, man. They definitely not to see. They got T.J. McConnell, huh?
Brogdon.
Yeah, Malcolm Brogdon. They got a tough little team, man. Karis
Yeah,
LeVert. They got a nice little team, man. So they definitely not to be slept on. You know what I'm saying? But I think that the Knicks should get them some good run tomorrow. I mean, I know Obi Toppin's ready. You know what I mean? He worked hard this summer, worked on his game. Julius Randle looked like a prize fighter. I don't know if you've seen him when he was flexing off when he
hmm,
was off camera. He looked like this
good.
dude was eating weights. Huh?
He looked good.
Yeah, he looked
What I
good.
like is bounce. When you look at somebody and when you see them practicing, his
Yeah,
his movement is kind of swift
yeah,
into his shot.
yeah,
And if you can master doing that, and he was working out with Melo, I think if you can
yeah.
master doing that, you can really do that just in the game. Once you calm enough, that's really all what it bows down to
That's a
when you
fact.
when you scored a lot of points. Because if he could do it moving like that, he's gonna keep getting open.
Yeah,
And if they double, he should just know how to pass right to because you're gonna have shooters.
I hope so. That's my biggest concern with him, man. It's him being able to pass out of that double team and not holding the ball too much because he did a
He
lot of
can't.
that last year in the
I think he can.
playoffs. You think he can?
Yeah, because he's not. He knows he's not like really like that. Like no disrespect to him because we always call him a Robin and all of that.
Yeah,
Even the way he did his deal, like
yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
yeah.
So
He
I
took
think
shots. He took
that's the
shots.
upside, though, to me at his position of power.
Yeah,
You know, and if you smart, that's what you would do to like make your make your body last longer. Don't
that
run
is a
yourself
fact.
into the ground because
That's a
Tibbs gonna
fact.
put you in the game till you
Yeah,
run yourself into the ground. So give up the ball and that could help him pick up his IQ
yes,
more. He could get better at that early on because we do have so many weapons. And then when they realize he doing that, he'll be able to pick up his offensive game. Because I
yeah,
think they're going to be ready for him to be doing all the stuff he did last year. And I
yeah.
don't think they should come out trying that.
Nah, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
But speaking of that, Kemba Walker said some interesting things during their presser like last week, man. I wanted to touch on it last week. I'm gonna bring it up this week. He said that one of the number one reasons why he came to the Knicks was to play with Derrick Rose. I found that to be very interesting. It wasn't to play with Julius Randle, it was to play with Derrick Rose. And today, Tibbs announced that Kemba's going to be the starting point guard, which we all kind of already knew. And Derrick Rose is going to be coming off the bench, man. What you think about his thoughts first and foremost, and what do you think about their combination as far as them playing together and coexisting?
hmm Yeah, I don't think it's no shot at Randall at all. It's just that it's like when I always talk about Randall and we talk about Randall and we say how long Randall been in the league and
Yeah,
this is first his last year. Last year was the first time he really was an all-star, did what he did before. I mean, he probably had some good games before, not to try to discredit him, but we all could see this was the best season in his career last season,
that's a fact.
you know. So it took him a little while to get to that point. You know what I mean? And I was saying earlier, like in general, he should be doing this. It's a lot of players at some points when you figure it out and you like you're like a veteran somewhat in the league.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So it ain't really a shot against him. D Rose is more of a he's a fan more of like a D Rose, even though they grew up playing against each other.
it's crazy.
Yeah, so it's that D Rose was more like he was really that dude, and even in the league with the MVP and all that back in those days, and for him to do what he's doing, I really think he did that was because of whatever regimen D Rose is using. He
Yeah.
probably wants to see what it is because he's older
Oh,
too.
yes.
Like
And his
whatever. I
knees,
mean,
man.
yeah, because what Derrick Rose is doing is unbelievable. Let's
That's
all
a fact.
keep it real.
That's a
So
fact.
honestly, Kimber can see that, and he probably like, yo, imagine us playing together, and D Rose already be talking about some type of meditating he be doing, and he
Yeah.
got something he doing over there. So Kimber probably want to get a whiff of that, and I don't know, we might have something brewing because
Yeah.
they're gonna play on the court together sometime.
That's a fact. I think that that's definitely going to happen. And it's funny
Mhm.
because they all look at Derrick Rose as the big homie. Like they look at him like, yo, he's the mentor, the guy that we go to on the team for advice and all that. And it's crazy because,
He's a nice guy.
early on in his career, I never saw that in him. Derrick
He
Rose
was
is
too
like,
quiet, I heard, D. Not to cut
yeah,
you off. He was too quiet to do that, but now he more mature. He's playing his
yeah,
OG role now, and he talking that.
yeah.
But he's
And
a
that's
cool guy.
that's a fact. That's a fact.
That's
He
what helps it.
He paid for a lot of funerals in Inglewood, man, in Chicago, man, his hometown, man. He's a king out there, man. And salute to him, man, because
It's a
he
pleasure
grew up.
to have him on New York, Nick. I
Yeah,
think
for real. After everything that he's
retired
been through,
as a
fact.
Nick. Yeah.
Yeah, he is going to retire as a Nick. And Dolan is the type of guy that he's going to reward a guy like Derrick Rose with a job in the front office or something, or in some capacity outside of just everyday basketball play. Because he do it with a lot of people. You just don't see him like that.
Mm-hmm.
LJ, John Wallace. John Wallace still works for the Knicks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of them do. I've noticed that. They
Yeah,
just try to make it seem like he don't really, help nobody because he had a couple problems with a few people. But you
yeah,
see, Tibbs just said it at the press conference that
yeah,
a lot of stuff he need and that he's getting is because of him.
yeah.
He's
That's a
because of
fact.
him. He says because he's allowing this. He named his brother though, like if somebody he got to go through, but it's the same thing. He's shouting them out, saying that they giving him the money for the extra equipment that they may need for the players to develop and to improve or whatever it is. He said,
Yeah,
shout out to them. And I'm like, wow, that's big because we
yeah.
haven't
That's
heard
huge.
nothing like that
Yeah,
in a
that
long
is
time.
huge.
I try to
That's a
pay attention to stuff like that. Yeah.
fact. That's a fact, man. Julius Randle, man, he also spoke at the press conference, man, and he basically answered some of the questions that we had in regards to him possibly taking a lesser role. He's basically saying that now, with the people that he has on the team and the guys that's around him, he just wants to fit in.
I mean, he been listening to us.
Yeah, he been listening
He's
because
so
you don't
hard
take
with
that
it.
back seat, baby. You already know what's going down. We got a lot of bodies out here to move, you know? Yeah.
But I'm glad he said that because that's very smart. That's what we've been saying. And I
Yeah.
said it earlier today as well. He could throw the defense off because then now everybody got to be more honest. And then the way he looks swift and the way his body look and the way his shot look, you can't guard him one on one. And then
At
when
all.
somebody try to help, it's a wrap. And then the main point about everything is the Peyton situation being replaced with Kimba, because with Kimba coming up with the ball in his hand,
Uh-huh.
when you a point guard, he can't sag off
That's a fact.
and wait in the middle for Kimba to drop, or Peyton would wait for Peyton to drop. Kimba gonna stop right there and knock that three down right in your
Fact.
face if you do
That's a
that.
fact.
So
We
you
hope
gotta
so.
come up on him so he gonna be able to get in there when he hits you with a move or throw the oop. Or you can't play a good player the way you play Peyton. No disrespect, but it's just a
Yeah.
fact. It
Yeah.
was a liability when I could stand 3-4 feet away from you and sag and help my defender.
That's a fact.
I teach that. I teach my team to keep their hand up to keep enough space to close out. But when we
Yeah.
playing a good shooter, you can't do that because I tell him if he could drive and shoot, he should be an all-star. You ain't gonna be able to stop him.
That's
So
a
you
fact.
got to take one away. If he hitting a shot, you got to force him to drive.
That's
So
a
if he
fact.
hitting everything, we got to double him, and then he might hit that too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Stills,
nah,
it
that's a
breaks
fact.
down the same way. Stills, from
That's a
coaching to
fact.
watching the game to
Yes.
putting a tournament together. When you stand over there and watch him play, you see it's the same thing, bro.
Yeah,
It's just
that's a
at a
fact.
lower level. Yeah.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact, man.
Randall
And
got to get that ball up, bro. Like you said.
I who's yeah, he has to. He got to give the ball up, man. And it's interesting because Evan Fournier, because Randall said that he just wants to fit in and help lead the team, but Evan Fournier, he was talking about just his love for winning. Period. Like he basically saying like he comes from a winning culture. I mean, even though when he was in Orlando, they didn't get that many wins. I mean, he was in Boston, they got some wins, and on the French team, he had some success. But he just was talking about he comes from a family of winners. He was talking about how his parents influenced him to grind and play hard and put his all into everything that he does as far as sports and stuff like that. And he wanted to take this opportunity to come to New York to kind of share his winning culture that he came from, man. So I found that very interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting to see how Tibbs makes this work, because with all this offense that we got and all of these players that we have, we got talented players. They may not be A-list stars, but
Mm-hmm.
we got good basketball players that can compete on a nightly basis, especially if they're coached right. They can
Mm-hmm.
compete with anybody in this league. It ain't no blowouts if they come and play and they playing at the top of their game every night. I mean, we know that's not going to happen every night, but they got guys that's capable of playing and guys that's not scared of playing against stars. Like for
Mm-hmm.
instance, Evan Fournier. Look at what he was doing for against USA basketball during the tournament. He was giving them buckets. You know what I mean? So he's not scared. So now it's like, they got to just have that roll over into the NBA season now and the regular season, man. And I think that they're gonna do well. Like they're gonna surprise a lot of people. Um, I think we made our predictions already. I think I said that they're gonna probably win about 50 games this year. That's a what? A 9-game improvement from last year. I
Mm-hmm.
think that that's doable. You know what I mean? I think that that's very doable, man. And one of the biggest things that Tibbs talked about during the presser was RJ Barrett being the team's best defender, perimeter defender. What's your thoughts on that?
Mm. Well, I want to say something. What you said about
Yeah,
I'm addressed to RJ, but
yeah,
what you said about Fournier,
uh-huh.
I've been hearing a lot too about he studied this and that. I
Yep,
watch basketball, man. It's not the first time I've seen this guy play. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to read all the ads about him and all that.
yep. Mm-hmm.
We didn't bring him here to come and uh do a lot of all that anyway.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
If he just learned his role, which I think he could, because this is why I think what we did was like a mastermind, or like seriously, it's like real chess. It's like what they put together,
yeah,
because I see it. It's not too much. If you know what I mean by not too much, a player not having too much in his game to
yeah.
mess up what we got.
Facts.
Now, if they could keep Randall in check and let him see, and being that you said he said that,
Yeah,
what he said, that's key. And I'm glad, because I didn't hear that yet. That
yeah,
I'm really happy to hear that,
yeah,
because that means that is what we've been saying and what I've been saying.
yeah,
That now we got the weapons, and he don't got to be dribbling the ball at that key under, where he had the ball a lot at, trying to be that, four, but dribbling the ball. You know what I mean? So
yes,
stick to my point with Fournier. Fournier has to just be ready to hit the shots that Randall dishes out, or
yeah.
Kimba dishes out. We already know Fournier can't really create a shot like that. Let's be honest. You know what
He
I'm saying?
can.
So he can hit a shot. So just
Yes,
be prepared to hit a shot. If you could create a shot, then you just create a shot. If Randall shouldn't force it, Fournier definitely shouldn't force it. Another thing I saw was when Kimba was asked about Randall, you know, being the man of the team, where you gonna fit in at? They
yeah,
asked him that, and he was saying, "Well, being a veteran, you know, I just say my piece. If I got to get the guys hype in practice, I'm gonna still do that. But of course, it's his team. We gonna fall in line. You know what I mean? He been here, like, he said something like in that nature. So he's not trying to come in there and act like he's taking over. So
no
they
question.
all got a sharing type of mindset,
Yeah,
and that's what I think they could do, because they attitudes to me seem like they that type of people. You know what I mean? They cool. They not like got egos. I could see Randall, RJ, all the guys we talking about. You know what I mean? I could see them share the rock and play good ball together.
that's a fact.
But
That's a fact.
the main point, in reference to what you asked me with RJ, I think he's gonna need time to, you know, get get to guard some of them type of players for at
Yeah,
least a season
yeah,
before we expect him to be that good defender right away. We'll
yeah,
judge him off for this season and see how well he's guarding guys and stuff like that,
yeah,
and see he could see how he could improve as well. But remember, we always say Tibbs is a great defensive team, a team defensive coach, where
yeah,
he got a scheme of team defensive plays, the guys that help out. And I seen him in the press conference when he said he got to make sure Mitch is there, because Mitch
yes,
is that wall. If you get beat, it's like a help type of defense.
yes.
You know what
That's
I
a
mean?
fact.
And if
That's a
RJ can stay with his man, with his
fact.
height, that's not a bad start for a young player to learn that early on.
It's not, and it's funny, man, because Evan Fournier, he definitely basically is replacing Reggie Bullock, who was the ultimate team player, but he got more skill set than Reggie Bullock for sure. And before we move on, shout out to my brother Mike Ray. What's up, champ?
Ray, what's good, bro?
Yeah.
What it do, brother? What it do? Just trying to fix these technical difficulties.
Yeah, I hear something in the background. That TV loud, boy, for real. For real, for real. It sounds like good times going on in the background, baby, for real. Word, man. But, Reggie Bullock, man, he showed up big for us on the defensive end, and he definitely was able to knock down threes. Now, Fournier has to step up on the defensive end and knock down those same threes consistently, and hopefully he's a little bit more of a playmaker than Bullock was, because he can play ball. He can play, man. I don't think that there's any problem with him on the offensive end. It'll probably be like the defensive end is where he's going to have to earn his stripes, especially with Tibbs, because like you said, Tibbs is a defensive coach, and he expects that from Tibbs. Now, one of the most interesting things that I've seen thus far is that Mitchell Robinson's health status hasn't changed much yet. And the fact that he put on all this weight, he's still in the walking boot, and he's not ready to play the opener tomorrow. And other than that, they also had Leon Rose kind of dance around the fact that they may not even be extending Mitchell Robinson, past this season. You know what I mean? So I found that to be very interesting. And I know Robinson is your guy, man, but what do you think about the fact that he's still not 100% back yet after all this time off?
Yeah, that bugged me out when I saw that. And Tibbs did say that he's doing a whole lot while he's been out, trying to say they're giving him a fair chance. But I think they got Sims to have somebody just in case.
That's a fact.
If we doing business,
yep,
and I see this is happening, and then he have a freak accident, and now it's taking him a while to come back.
Yes,
we're gonna be talking. I'm gonna be like, we got to get somebody else just in case this don't look too good right now.
Yes,
and I think that's the situation it is with Mitch. Unfortunately, then he's putting all the weight up top because he has so much time off his feet where he just is lifting weights now.
Yes.
Is that gonna pan out the same way? That make you move slower than you used to move? Because I thought that he used to say that the slim fit was his type of play. He used to fight for that. He even said it. He said, I didn't never want to lift weights, but now I didn't have no choice because he said he didn't have nothing else to do. So I'm like, all right, man, you could have been shooting threes.
Oh, nah, they definitely
shooting
didn't want
layup. I mean, shooting free throws.
Word.
Doing something else besides lifting all them weights.
Yeah, because he looked crazy right now. Mike, what's your thoughts on Mitchell Robinson?
Wrestling or something.
Facts.
I think he had to put some weight on to keep from getting abused in the paint, from getting moved off his spots. I mean, it's the blessing and it's the curse. I mean, you want him stronger. You don't want to see him get, abused and moved off his spaces. But at the same time, it's that light on the feet flexibility that, if he could put together a solid season, would make him easily a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. So I think it's really a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of scenario. I'm just curious to see how it plays out, because Mitch, with a little bit of weight, is Hassan Whiteside with a better upside. Right? Like before Hassan got traded from the Heat, I think it was to Portland, Hassan Whiteside was a beast.
That's a fact.
Right? He was a beast. I think that potentially could be Mitch. But again, I think they said he bulked up to about 275 on a 7'1" frame for a dude that's still a kid. I mean, granted, he's gonna grow in. I just don't know if that's a little bit too much too soon.
Yes.
I would have liked to see maybe 25 pounds, and then next year we do another 25 pounds.
Yeah.
But we'll see. For me, the jury's out on that. But I will tell you this: as a big man putting on that kind of weight, already with a foot problem,
Yeah.
that ain't never a good look.
Nah, it's definitely not a good look, and it's starting to look like they brought in Jericho Sims at the right time, and Nerlens Noel is going to have to hold down the fort again because it doesn't look like Mitchell Robinson is going to
And
make it.
Taj.
Oh,
And he
yeah, and
said
Charles
that.
Gibson.
He
Yep.
said he got Taj and Noel. That's what
Yep.
Tibbs said right away. He said
Yep.
that, no hesitation. So I'm like, yo, he already got plans without Mitch. So that's showing me something.
Yep.
He's saying hopefully Mitch will come along. So that means he's always going to be behind, if you ask me, because he's supposed to be playing already just to get in the groove of things if you ain't been playing ball in a while.
Yeah.
He said something about he want to get hit in the chest to see how it feel. I'm like, man, you want to run and see how that feel first,
That's
bro.
a fact.
Like,
That's a fact.
talking about get hit in the chest. Now you think you bulletproof now. Like, come
Yeah.
on.
And his game, like Mike was saying, man, like for his size to put on that much weight with the combination of his game, he likes to fly around and stuff like that. He'll easily re-injure himself again, man, because he knows how to play one way and one way only. Like unless he developed the low post game or like you said, was behind the 3-point line practicing threes, it's like, bruh, this is not a good recipe right here for you to last through this season, man. And, I don't know, man. I hope that it works, but the way that it looked like the Knicks are planning is to basically be with life without Mitchell Robinson. You know what I mean? For real.
We
They
need
got
another defensive player to place him still. If we
yeah,
don't get him, we need another big, like, I don't know if it got to be a 5, but we got to be a 5 really, because it can't be no 4.
yeah,
We
nah.
stacked in the 4. We need a 5 that could guard D.
Hey man, we brought up this man's name a few times in the last couple of shows, man. The last few shows that we had, Karl Anthony Towns. I don't know if you saw his press conference for Media Day for the Timberwolves, but that dude was so honest. It was like, everybody felt for him like, damn, if anybody needs a scenery change, it's him. And he just is like, he been through it all in Minnesota. You know what I mean? So nothing pretty much surprises him anymore, through the death of his moms to COVID and, everything he was going through with like taking the blame for the team being bad and coaches throwing him under the bus, fellow teammates trying to throw him under the bus. He just sounded like a dude that was just ready for a change of scenery, man. And he'll be more than willing to come back home and play for his favorite team. But that's just what I got from that, Mike. I don't know if you heard his press conference, Mike, to elaborate on that a little bit with Karl Anthony Towns.
I caught. Did I catch the press conference? I didn't catch the press conference, but I caught his comments after they turned around and fired the team president and
Oh God,
or the GM.
yeah,
And I mean that did it for me, man. You saw the disgust.
yeah,
You saw that dude was willing to try to stick it out.
yeah.
You got him. You got him. What's dude's name running the point?
D'Angelo Russell.
You got D'Angelo Russell. You got Anthony Edwards running the wing. You know what I'm saying? He was willing to take a stab at staying there and trying to make it work.
Yeah.
Listen, son, if I was going to advise him, I'd be like, look, on your best day, you are still not Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett had Kevin Garnett, Wally Zerbiak, young Steph, Malik Sealy on the bench.
Damn.
Like they had some G's. They had youth, but yet they had some OGs. I think Anthony Peeler, was there for a hot second, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? In some places, it just ain't made to work.
Yeah.
Right? Some towns are just not built for certain things. So, you know what I'm saying? I just don't know if, because I don't see a great deal of difference in the numbers between Cat and Julius. So therefore, am I moving Julius for Cat?
That's a
Mm.
fact.
Because
You
if
can't
we
put him
talking
without.
about
That's
Cat,
a fact.
if we talk about Cat and Julius, I don't see how that coexists because
Damn.
Tibbs' biggest thing is rim protection.
Yes.
And he
Yeah.
might give you 32 boards a night. He's not protecting the rim.
That
So
is
Yeah,
I
true.
that's
don't I
why I
don't
said
know. I
replace
don't know if
Mitch
that's
with
worth
a
it.
protector. I know you said him as a good idea, Stills, but I was trying to think like not somebody who could put in that type of points like he could and require that many touches. I think I said that before as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Destroy the
even
chemistry.
though Randall is a Robin, but we got so much other firepower.
Yeah.
Mitch was good because he gonna get the putbacks, block shots. You know what I mean? Catch
Yeah.
oops. You need a
Evan
player like that.
Turner.
Yeah.
Evan
Yeah.
Turner.
Yeah.
Somebody who could give you blocks, get a
Yeah.
few points. Not require that many touches, and there
Yeah.
you have it. It's a lot of big men like that in the league.
Well, it did. Like
Think
Mike
about
is saying, we're gonna see Evan Turner tomorrow.
Paging Evan Turner.
it. Evan Turner.
But I need someone that got hands. I need a big man that can at least catch the ball, unlike say Nerlens, who got feet for hands. You know what I'm saying? Like I need somebody other than that. So I say Evan Turner. But I will say this. Let us not be dismayed. Tibbs don't like to play rookies,
That is true.
right? But quickly forced his hand and has him looking like a genius.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, if my man Sims comes in and is mildly productive, gives you some rim running, he already does some things better than Mitch. And Will could confirm this because we seen it. We seen him set the proper screen,
Nah, that's a
right?
fact.
And
I
we
was
saw
impressed.
him when he came out on the free throw line extended, or he stepped forward rather than look for someone to pass it to. When it was there for him, he turned and made his own move, right? So with that being said, if that continues, do not be surprised because it ain't who starts, it's who finishes. So
That's a
don't
fact.
be surprised if you
Yeah, that's
start
true.
seeing, especially in these preseason games, especially in camp, if you start to see a little more Jericho Sims than you think, your eyes are not fooling you. They're not fooling you.
Nah,
It's
it's
gonna
true.
be interesting. It's definitely
It's the
gonna be
position.
interesting, man.
It's the
Well,
position. Whereas
yeah,
he get in there quick because they don't need you to be, he got the height, he could get the rebounds. It's like he got not a simple job, but you could be young and do and play that role. You know what I'm saying? And I think he could kind of, and he gonna learn fast. And we kind of building anyway, so I think that's what they be looking at too at some points. Whereas if
And
Mitch
outside
ain't
of
just looking,
Taj, everybody else has one thing in common at the 5 spot for the Knicks. Mitch, Nerlens, them dudes is all fragile.
yes,
So by default, he could end up seeing game time just because. I mean, these dudes. I ain't gonna necessarily say they take plays off, but these dudes. How many games you watched last year? We look like Nerlens wasn't coming back.
yeah, but Mitch though, nah, if Mitch work out with that weight, I think I take Mitch because I don't think he'll if Mitch isn't hurt though. Don't get me wrong. If he
but
hurt, we can't use him. But if
it's a
he's
flip.
not hurt and he come back, it's not gonna be easy because he put in a lot of work. He was like, remember, he broke records for the field for that field goal
Yeah,
percentage.
field goal percentage. Yes,
Yeah, he don't miss a lot because he ain't taking bad shots. And that's I think the point I keep going back to is what that role is that's what we need for that team. Because anything else is gonna change the whole dynamic.
that's a
Like a
fact.
Towns, he gonna want the ball in his hands all the time. He gonna be too dominant for our team. But like he said, he's right. We're gonna have to give up a lot of pieces like a Julius, and that's gonna take up a lot of the touches that we had on that end as well. So it would
That's
go,
true.
it would go to him. But
That's
I don't
true.
wouldn't want to do that. I would rather get a player who better fit the description of a Mitch, like a Sims or another big that could just play that role and let all these other pieces that we got work together, unless we gonna get like a Lillard or Bill or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's different.
Well, Knicks already started cleaning the house too, man. They waved Luka Vildoza. There goes our Luka Doncic out the window.
I said it. No, I said it. I seen him.
Got rid of him.
I seen him. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they probably.
I agree. No.
Gotta go.
Yeah, one of the main reasons why they got rid of him is because he started out training camp in a walking boot, man. He sprained his ankle during the summer league game. Remember, he played one summer league game and that was it. He sprained his ankle during the summer league game and he never played ever since. And he came to training camp with a walking boot on. So I guess they was like, okay, well, he's making our job easier. We gotta give it.
Let me give y'all a little something I looked up a couple of days ago.
Okay.
They said that the Knicks paid whatever he's from, Argentina, Brazil, whatever it is. They paid Argentina. They paid Argentina $750,000 US to get him out of his contract.
Wow.
The 4-year deal that he got, only 1 year was guaranteed. So I did the math. He was getting something like $3 million guaranteed this year. He got the bag. And let me tell you why he got the bag. It's 98-1 Brazilian to US.
Wow.
So that $3 million US that he got
he's a king.
$398 million in Brazilian money, in Argentinian money. You can look it up. As of Friday, it was 98 of their dollars to 1 of ours.
God, man.
He got the bag.
Yeah, he's a king.
He could go home and play pickup or go back to the Argentinian league. He's straight. And here's what makes it even better. A little random facts from Mike Ray.
I was wondering what happened. That's it right there.
27,000 Brazilian dollars. Not
God.
27,000 American dollars. 27,000 Brazilian dollars is the average salary in Argentina. Is the average Argentinian salary.
27,000?
27,000 of their dollars, not of ours. 27,000 of their dollars is the average salary. And he's going home with 398 million of their dollars. He got the bag.
Yeah, he definitely got a bag.
I'd have put 2 walking boots on.
Yeah, he figured, why do I even got to go through all of that? I ain't gonna get the spot anyway. I'm playing behind Kimba, Deuce. He looked at the team. He said, "Man, let me take my money and go."
Yeah, be out.
Listen, he'd have been playing behind whatever that other dude they got from overseas. He'd have been playing behind him because he was busy. He was doing his thing in summer league. Yes. My man said, you know what? I'm gonna take my broke foot, wink, wink, and go home. My neck. What my man said? My neck, my back, my neck, and my back. Yeah, he took that. He took that and went home. Open up him something. 300 million. I'm out.
Oh man. So my question. I got a couple questions for you guys, man. One, do y'all think that the team will make a major move to improve this roster before the deadline?
No. No with an asterisk. No with an asterisk.
Yeah.
My asterisk is while Will over there rolls the dice around to think about his answer. If they get to the break and are, I don't just mean excelling. I don't mean 2-3 games over 500. I mean they get to the break. They get to the All-Star break, approaching the trade deadline, and they're looking at 15 games over 500. And they're cooking. No significant injuries. I don't see the necessity for a blockbuster move. Right? Because if you're working on a 5-year plan, then it's by all accounts, it seems like Rose and Wes and Ninja P you know what I'm saying, it seems like they are sticking to their plan, then there's no need to make a move at the deadline. Again, unless it's just something like Portland comes and was like, look, give me all 65 of your second round picks. Send some Junior's cheesecake over here from downstairs at Penn Station. Give me Obi. Give me Grimes. Give me a first round. Give me Dallas's first round. You know, somebody comes if they just desperate,
Yeah,
then yeah. But other than that, if they're moving and grooving, the garden is packed. Folks are buying merchandise. They look good. Kimba's playing every couple of days. He got a day off here. You know, Grimes is giving you something. Or McBride is giving you something. Nah, man, they ain't making no move.
wow. So,
Or
so well,
I think that what he's saying it make a lot of sense, but
uh,
when we play a certain way and we playing good, like what you said, Stills, right?
uh,
That makes teams want to make the move if they may think those type of players eventually gonna want to leave anyway,
yeah,
or they talking to them about trade getting traded or whatever already. The talks
yeah,
is already going on. So
fact,
if that happens, then it's like we taking a risk anyway. Even if we saying Lillard, right? I be feeling like some of our players could be on that same level at one day. You got to remember when they first got Lillard, they didn't know Lillard was going to be the hype the way he is now. You know what I mean? Just like when OKC got Harden, they did not know Harden was going to be able to have his own team. So you got to remember, like, you get rid of these pieces and then you go and see them. And that happened to us before. Not really crazy because, we can remember who we let go and they
that's
never really came to be nothing too, on a level to be like, yo, we should have never ever let him go. You know what I'm saying? It was problematic players, if anything, not
yeah,
like a player who continued to go kill in the league that we let go.
yeah,
So unless y'all could think of one, you know what I'm saying? But I think that if that happens, I wouldn't even really want to do it. Like really, I would just stick to what we got because we doing way better than what we did in a long time, as
uh-huh,
far as what we accumulating already. So I
uh-huh,
think it's a sign definitely now to show us the bill off of that because we never really did that before. Let's stop doing what we always did. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? If
yeah,
one of those guys want to be on our team, let them come after when they free and prove really that they want to be on our team instead of having to give up our whole team for them because
yeah,
we always went that route. And at some point you got to be smart and say, we not doing that no more. And I think the guys we got, like you said, Leon Rose, these guys, they not
yeah,
gonna go that route no more. Sorry. You want to
yeah.
come over here, you gotta come the right way, bro.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So it sounds like y'all both saying we don't need a superstar player, and you kind of satisfied with the way
You
the roster
convinced
is
me,
right.
Ray.
Eventually we do, but for right now, I mean, look, what do we? We got no superstar player. Dudes play some solid grit and grind type, what we kind of know New York basketball to be. You know what I'm
Uh,
saying? You got one dude who's overachieving, right? The garden is packed out, merchandise, you can't buy tickets. And what do we got? 16 nationally televised games this year
yeah,
with no superstar. They playing with house money. Last year was an
Yeah, but
aberration. So they
but
playing with house
Randall
money.
But Randall, an all star though.
I
Once
didn't
you an
see
all
that
star,
coming. Nobody
yeah,
saw that coming.
no, nah, we know that. I said that always, but I'm saying if he an all star, then you got to call it what it is. Yeah, he fell on his face in the playoffs, but the way he played was the way a dude that you would want to trade for to come to your team the same way he played. You see what I'm
no
trying to
question,
say?
no
Yeah,
question.
so it's like that's what I meant by,
Mm,
and they said Barrett is gonna be an all-star. And then all these new players and Kimba always been an all-star. You see what I'm saying? So we kind of building our own culture. And you said I heard you say we still need a superstar, right? But
yeah,
if we have players who are all-stars and they're playing together, you know what I'm saying? Do we really need that superstar? Because we're gonna have to give up Randall, Barrett, and a Obi for one
yeah,
of those type of players.
and
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 like I
I'm
said, that's not worth what we always did before. Why don't we stick with what we drafted and build them up and try to see what we could do off our picks and what we pay for?
That's a fact. And I'm glad you said that because we got about 8 minutes left in the show, man. I wanted to ask y'all, man, tomorrow starts a new beginning, new season. But what's your most memorable Knick moment of all time? I'll go last, or I'll let you go first, Will.
I mean, the first one that come to mind is the John Starks dunk.
The dunk?
The John Starks when he went, because he went this way, and he spit back, and then Mike tried to act like he wasn't in the picture. All them years, I was tired of Jordan. Even though I knew he wasn't going to beat Jordan, I said, yo, man, at some point, it's like a dude you can't beat. If you get the punch in one good time in his mouth, but you know you're going to still get your butt kicked, you happy with that punch. And I felt like that with the Starks dunk, man. I was like, yo, he got that off, man. He going to have that poster forever. And I saw Starks at one of my kids' games too out here.
Yes, I did see that. that.
Yeah, that was dope. And I saw your man Lloyd Daniels at one game too. They all be out here.
Shout out to Sweet Pea. Word.
Shout out to my guy Sweet Pea.
For real.
What's yours, Ray?
It may very well have to be that 90 NBA final. Is it 90?
Yes.
When Latrell came in and threw it on Sean Elliott.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. I forgot about that. With two hands. One.
Moving. Came down full speed and just took off on Cat like, yeah, I know we not about to win this, but I got ill will in my heart. No disrespect, Will. I got ill will in my heart right now, and he just threw it. He just threw it two hands.
Yes,
I think I broke the TV remote. I had a Time Warner cable. I broke the remote after that dunk.
Wow,
that's my most memorable.
Damn, I remember that play like it was yesterday for real because he dunked it. It was an and one. The crowd was going bananas, and like he said, we wasn't going to win that series, so we was down, but. That was a memorable moment, man. And it's funny because mine comes from that same year. And this was the year that it was a lockout shortened season. We made it to the finals. I think we had beat Miami the first round as an AC, and then we went on and faced Atlanta in the next round. And it was the first game of that series where Latrell Sprewell and Allen Houston both had playoff career highs, man. Allen Houston had 34 points and Sprewell had 31 points. And they ended up taking game one. They both got busy. And a lot of people was wondering, could they really coexist? And in that particular game, they show how deadly they could be if they stayed on that type of time, man. That was like one of my most memorable moments, man. Other than that was the Steve Francis and Marbury moment in Atlanta as well.
You know what? I gotta go with you. I gotta go with you on that Atlanta series, but it wasn't for Spree and Allen, who I both was a big fan of. Yeah. It was that Camby took the Hawks to school all by himself the whole series. Anytime he got up off the bench, it was a bucket.
That's a fact.
Embarrassed the whole squad. Sharif Abdul-Rahim. The Kembe Mutombo, like I think Steve Smith was still there.
Yep.
Took all them dudes to day camp and gave them a bag lunch.
That's a fact.
That's a fact, man. Yeah, man. But the common theme in those stories is those teams that we all brought up, man. At the time, we didn't have superstars. They were all really good players. Some of them were all-stars. And they ended up going far, even though they had mediocre seasons, man. I think that the Knicks, the way that they're currently constructed, can kind of have one of those weird type seasons to where they can shock a lot of people moving forward, man, with the talent that they have and the amount of depth that they have as well at all the positions, man. Like Mike said, McBride and Grimes, we ain't even really talk about them, and they really got a serious chance of cracking the rotation if somebody's not on their A game in that backcourt, man. So,
but I thought he said Tibbs don't play rookies, right?
that I don't
They're gonna
believe.
force his hand. I mean, you got to think about it. Like
Yeah,
when in the
That
last
position
five
is tough.
when in
yeah,
the last 5 years has Derrick Rose not had a season where he missed at least 15 games?
exactly. And Kemba.
And Kemba. So by default, it's going to end up being one or two of them, and they play D. They get at it. They play D like dogs.
That's
That's
a
why they
It
fact.
only take one game. It take one or two games where one of them dudes come in and do the unthinkable, like lock somebody down that you didn't think they would, and Tibbs will ride that car till the wheels fall off.
Yeah, all they got to do is play D. Yeah, that's true. But I think they was putting quickly at the point to trying to see what he could do for that reason more. No, I'm not saying that they won't play the McBride, but you got to remember quickly ain't a point guard, but McBride would be the next one up behind Derrick Rose, right?
That's a fact. And
Right.
McBride plays defense, and I think Tibbs really likes that kid, man, because he go at it. He dig deep, and he's at.
He's a Bob Huggins referral.
What
That's
about
a fact.
Grimes? Grimes played it too, right?
Grimes is more of a two. He's more of an Allen Houston type of guy.
He's not a point
Sure.
guard.
Nah, he's not a point guard.
Well,
He's
there
just-
you have it.
But you put him out there and let him spread
I'll
the
take
floor.
McBride.
Yes.
And that's
You let
why
them
they
spread
had
the
to
floor.
other
You leave him open. You're gonna get your feelings hurt.
dude Mike
That's
Ray
a fact.
said, the dude Mike Ray said got the bag. That's why they had him too, I guess.
Bulldozer. Yep.
Yeah,
For
for
the
the help
him.
at that point, just in case, like he said.
He's out of here, and they had no problem letting him go because they see what they got with these young boys. You know what I mean?
That's good. That's a good sign for sure.
Yeah, man. I ain't gonna front. Tomorrow's my
Right
born
future.
day, man. I might have to go to the game, man. I might have to go spend a little $200, $300. Hopefully, they got the Chase Bridges open. Catch one of them seats up top, man, and watch tomorrow's game live,
You
man.
deserve it, man.
Yeah, man. I
You
deserve
it, bro.
it, real, man. For real,
For
man.
real.
Word, but
Happy born day.
thank you, bro.
Wish you
Appreciate
many
it.
more, my
Your born
brother.
day is tomorrow, Stills.
And my birthday's tomorrow, champ.
That's why we like family, brother. Mine's Friday.
I already know.
Happy
I already
birthday,
know. Yep.
Happy
Yep.
birthday to both of y'all, man. Wish y'all
Salute.
many more, man.
Thank you, Hardwell.
Enjoy
Appreciate
y'all days,
Appreciate you,
man.
Will.
for
You
real,
already
man.
know. Enjoy y'all days, man. Right now, a lot of people losing their family members and people going through a lot, man. So enjoy your day, man. Make
Nah,
sure you do. Like if this would have been your last, you know what I mean? Always remember that. Because
question.
I just had a dude telling me he lost 3 people in his family from COVID.
Yeah, man. I lost
All
my
in the same
man.
family.
Rest in peace. And my uncle shares the same birthday as me, man. We lost him.
Oh man,
COVID,
rest
you know
in
what I'm
peace to
saying?
your uncle, man. I'm
Mine,
sorry
man.
to hear that, bro.
It took him out in a week, man. But you know, he was
Same
a diehard.
birthday as you.
Yeah, same birthday as me, October 5th.
Sorry
Hell,
to hear that, bro.
it's all good, man. That's life, man. We got to deal with it. You know what I mean? We got to keep pushing forward, though, man. But for real, man, brothers, man, I salute y'all, man. I appreciate y'all, man. We come to the end of another great show today, man. Hopefully the Knicks get it in tomorrow. We have a great season, man. But, you know, every Monday, make sure you tune in 10 to 11, Bars and Hoops Radio, Knicks Talk Nation Radio. You can always catch Mike Ray, myself, Hard Will, and also Jay Remy on the check-in from time to time, man. Download the app. Check out the website daily, man. Read some of the articles
Great
that
show,
we got
y'all.
up there. And definitely listen to some music 24/7, man. So on that note, Stills the Great, Hard Will, Mike Ray,
Mike
we are
Ray.
Knicks Talk Nation Radio, and we are signing off.
Peace.
Peace.
New York City, we back. The Big Apple, NY. The Knicks are back. Staten Mellow. This dedicated to my city, New York. Official kings in the court. Reach for the ball, a hard lesson gets taught. So bring your skills to the nearest playground. No clown around. Catch a helmet in a minute on a New York playground. The Big Apple's what they call it for short. And basketball is our sport. We play for keeps and never settle for short. So bring your game when you come to my town. We snatch a crowd. You get embarrassed on the court after you shook to the ground. You get respected when you prove to get down. So save the joke for the clowns. And NYC, we known to go a few rounds. This is a city where you're forced to go hard. You'll get booed out of Dodge and shown the door being the weakest on squads. Rucker Park and summer nights, they stay live. Brothers play for the pride and bragging rights on who's the king of NY. So grab the pill and prepare to go hard. Pick your 12-man squad. Orange and blue, better believe we go hard. This for my city, New York, New York City where it's gritty. Yeah. For my city, never pretty. New York City, sing it with me. Yeah. For my city, New York City where it's gritty. NYC, for my city, never pretty. Yeah. New York City, sing it with me.